Spoiler alert. Don't look at that yet. Can't spoil too much of it. Hope 6. Alright. We have played before. And I think it's been a good minute since we played. Goon, how's it going? Hound Doom, I mean, super close to being first. That's for sure. Super close. So close, I believe it. In my heart, both you and Goon are first. What's your bullet rating? I think Goon's about to settle this on the chessboard. Wait a second. We're gonna rearrange this knight back here after h6. Oh, he doesn't want it. Doesn't want it. Okay. I should have thought about this more. Yeah. We'll see who's faster. Don't go against the Goon when speed is on the line. I'll tell you that. I can tell you that. Some tempting moves. Oh, we're just gonna go for it. We're gonna go for it. I'm in. Hello. Steven, how's it going? Long maneuver. Mostly to attack e6, but, you know, bishop d3 kind of hangs around. There! It's lingering. Oh, yeah. Good stretching. Ooh, he's relying on knight f6 so hard. Okay, I believe it. But not fully. It's still, you know, dangerous. Never go against a Sicilian when death is on the line. Exactly. Whoa, Steven, you're gonna play a Norm tournament with a... Well, is it a round robin Norm tournament? Like, what's the... Because that kind of makes sense. Like, they have to be super strict, or the norms just go out the window. Lenora, how's it going? I feel like it's been a second. Good to see you. What are we relying on? Isn't that a problem? Isn't that a huge problem? I was thinking I had to play this, but I just realized I'm protecting. Okay, he's sneaky with it. Wait, is he though? Wait a second, Rookie 7? Also kind of a problem. Yeah. The sacrifice! The sacrifice was too good! It is a round robin? Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, actually. Because unless they have an alternate ready to go, I mean... They're just screwed if you can't play. Not Andre, how's it going? No, one of the most interesting things I've heard about like norm tournaments and them getting kind of screwed over was that federation changes can happen mid-month. So you could be playing in an event and have all the people for your norm, and then if they were in the process of changing their federation, and that happens to happen in the middle of the event, suddenly you could be just out of luck. Which is crazy to me that they would allow federation changes like mid-month, mid-event, all that stuff. Aha! I can create a threat too. Will they be playing viewers? I might do a little bit of that after the lesson. I don't know. We'll see. It's hard to gauge because I'll be doing the lesson stream and then Title Tuesday and the Title Tuesday warm-up. Sometimes I like to play in the pool. Sometimes I take a chill and I play viewers. It really is just you know, what am I feeling that day? It's not scientific. Yeah, I think I mean, it's very rare that people just change their federation to begin with, right? So, like, that in of itself is kind of crazy. You're just not likely to see that, but can happen. And yeah, apparently can happen mid tournament, which is wild. All right, I'm feeling okay about this game thus far. We're up 2 pawns, and the f6 pawn is currently solid, so that's also quite nice. Queen also a very nice defensive piece. It's, you know, it's covering a lot of good squares there on f2. The next step for me is the question, though. Like, I feel like it should be rook e8. Okay, he probably wants bishop e4. Maybe I preemptively play bishop d5, bishop d4, rook e4. Makes sense. Could also play queen takes a. Wait, queen takes a2 also forces the trade. Okay, rook e4 doesn't force the trade, so queen d2 is tricky. You can go here, but okay, I'm up some pawns, you know. Wow, that's an interesting. Bishop a1. That's a crazy move. I mean, you know, You know. Just keep taking stuff. Long maneuver. Alright, now this pawn runs. That was not smart. Max, hello. Grunfeld is too OP. Super clean. The most clean. I can't believe I blundered that. Yeah, sometimes a problem with me, like, it's so winning that it's just like you get lazy, right? Because it's not the most fun to play, and it's just like, okay, like here, all I have to do is just not get forked and put the bishop on e4, like, and then it's over. But you know, I'm not gonna accept a rematch because I think Dina is close. He said almost there. How almost there is almost there. Max, how you doing? I don't know. The Grunfeld, I think it's more fun to play than the kid. Like, I think there is a world where you could play both and switch between the two depending on your opponent. Because I've been surprised as I've dabbled with the King's Indian to find some similarities. But it's still ongoing thing. Do Russian chess school principles sometimes conflict with the advice you give Dina? I don't really think so, because I'm trying to think through. I don't think so. I mean, for anyone who's not aware, like, a lot of my GM coaching, like coaching to get to GM, was a lot of the Russian method. So in a lot of ways, like, my understanding of chess is also very, like, I think, yeah, I think I could say, like, a lot of my learning of chess is very Russian chess school, because that's what got me to GM. Max, you're almost at 21,000 Mark channel points. Let's go. Yeah, I think that was because I have my moments where I can be very silly and joking with chess and all that. Like, I don't have, no offense to the Russians, but kind of. I don't have the as serious nature that some of them do, but I think there is that reminder every now and then that, like, wait a second, I went through a lot of that too. The King's Native American seemed more difficult for me to play. Like Grunfeld. Is there any other chess school? That's a good question. That's great. We all learn from that, right? No, I mean, I think every player, and obviously like the coaches you work from, will adapt their own kind of style in their teaching. So, the thing is, me teaching will definitely be different than someone who was, you know, born in Russia, grew up, learned that way. Like there is still some things that I think I kind of adapted in my own learning and from other coaches I worked with. But that type of intense, I mean, there also is the Indian chess school. I mean, they have so many strong players. Like they have good programs going. Aladdin, how's it going? Oh, Aladdin, yeah. Some people have insane amounts of channel points. It's pretty wild. I said Russian chess school teaches you to talk to your pieces. Whisper sweet nothings. To a point. I mean, the positional maneuvering type game definitely came from my time of learning my coach and really trying to understand, okay, this piece could be better, this piece isn't in the game, you know, so on and so forth. Okay, you guys still breathing, so that's a plus. That's, you know, that's a good start. Start there and see where it takes you. Irish School of Chess has 4 people now, but it's growing. Hey, there you go. Yoon, how much time did you spend with GM Ivanov when you were a young kid, and did he teach you anything valuable? I was so young. Like I was 6 years old with Ivanov, and then he tragically passed away that next year. So I feel like a lot of what I gained from him was not in those training sessions, but just some of the guidance. Like the value of being able to play blindfold was probably the #1 thing that I feel like I got from him, and seeing him do it in those early stages and was something that me and my brothers worked on growing up that I think a lot of people miss. Like I think when we talk about calculation, puzzles are good, but I do think, and even myself, like it's easy to just say puzzles and not talk about the blindfold side, but I do think there is value in blindfold practice and working on that, the ability to see the board and to think ahead without moving the pieces. It's such a part of being able to calculate that. Oh, okay. Here's Tina. Yeah, I think it's undervalued at times.
Hello.
Whoa.
What?
You're like purple.
Oh, loud? Oh.
Yeah, like
Oh. Oh, sorry. I didn't manage to surprise you today.
wait. So everyone can just a quick glance of what her camera looks like right now. Will she
Okay.
quick glance? I what 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 is how does that even happen? Did someone just go crazy with the saturation on your camera?
Oh no, it's because I put OBS. Let me 1 sec. Here.
Oh,
You
there you
see?
go. Yeah. Small.
I didn't manage to surprise you today.
No, I'm unsurprisable.
Yeah,
Always ready.
I was hoping that I would make it, but I failed.
It's okay. This is a little bit earlier. I don't know. I don't know
Then
if you've
last time?
noticed. It is a little bit earlier.
Then last time?
Uh-huh. So it's
Wow.
progress. It's progress. It's what we talked about, right? One step at a time.
Well, yeah.
Oh, the other
I
one.
think it's it's definitely a like um like a lifestyle, right? You try to fit in everything on Earth into the same amount of time you have, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you pile it up.
See, you know.
Somewhat. I mean, it's definitely a balancing act, and let's just say I've gotten very good at making my calendar set and intentionally trying to give myself time in between and all that.
Yeah, you always come in advance.
Yeah, I try to. Because I kind of understand, especially with streaming, like if I don't start setting up 20 minutes early, like I'll probably be late.
Yeah, grandmaster calculation.
Yeah, I mean I tried to do the same for tournaments too. Try to be ready like 15 minutes before. I also liked it. It was something I was doing for tournaments that I found a lot of benefit in, because it would just give me some time. Like I'd stop preparing, so I'd be prepping openings, and then like try that 15 minutes before, stop, and have that time so I can just kind of sit at my board, I can get in the zone, I can get ready to play, and I don't feel the rush.
Damn, I don't think I was ever on time, like in advance, sorry, for my game.
That's
Ever.
yeah.
I just have this thing that just before the game, I have the biggest motivation to work on chess and repass. So the most amount of like openings I've ever like learned was when I was just repassing them for my upcoming game in 5 minutes.
Hmm. Yeah. Oh, looks like somebody is live. What the heck?
Yeah,
Everyone
let
on
me
Dina's
add
channel. Hello, hello.
seeing the next. Let me put the announcement that I'm live.
You announce it on Instagram?
Yeah.
Nice.
Mm. How have you been doing?
Pretty good.
How is the new home
Oh, it was nice. They just put a fence in the backyard. Um, which
for the
is turned out
dogs?
great, yeah, for the dogs. So that's super
That's
nice.
awesome.
Yep. And because for some reason my rooms get cold, so I have a nice heater that keeps me uh warm at night, which is super nice too. Which actually something happened at Tony's house that they're not fully sure anymore. They thought it was a gas leak, but someone checked and they couldn't find anything wrong with it. So the furnace
Ooh.
was actually off yesterday. And
The what?
yeah, I was streaming from here and I was freezing. I was so cold.
Oh, the thermos?
Mm-hmm.
Mm. Okay, I see.
Yeah.
Nice. Actually, not nice. But I get it.
Tony asks, how is Miss Dark Souls doing? Lots of
Oh
hellos from
yeah,
chat,
about
by the way.
speaking about Tony. Speaking about Tony, I don't understand this man. Like how like how many times more should I teach him English until he understands? Like every time I give him a rule and every time he breaks it. every time he makes mistakes where I tell him how not to make these mistakes, and he keeps making them. I just don't understand.
So you're
Like,
saying you're Miss Dark Souls, he's Miss Takes. Sorry.
this makes what?
He's Miss Takes. Sorry.
Oh,
It's a bad joke.
right. That nice pun.
No, it's it's just Tony being Tony. Tony does his thing, and
yeah, but aren't you supposed to work in team and like check on him?
I do, and we have lots of conversations about different things like that. But I
Yeah,
also
like,
understand Tony is Tony, so
oh, like
it's a
you know what I'm
balance.
talking about or not?
I think so. You
What
don't
am
you
I
don't
talking?
like the spacing and his titles and
Yeah,
stuff.
but I know I found a new mistake.
Oh, a new
Yeah, and
mistake.
it's all same shit. Like he just makes his own rules. Now he used to speak French. Now he speaks German.
The Shiza.
No, he used to have a French punctuation rules, meaning he makes a space before the exclamation mark. Now he decides that he capitalizes only nouns, right? In German, all the nouns are capitalized, but the verbs are not capitalized. You see what I mean? So now he's speaking German.
I just find it impressive that you know that about German. I have no
Well,
idea
I
about that.
studied it. What do you mean? I studied in
You studied
university.
German? Wait,
I
in
studied
Germany?
French, German, and English. That's the only thing I know. Like I cannot do 5+3. I don't know, but I studied languages.
Wow. Nice.
So
So maybe he thought you would just appreciate the ode to German punctuation.
uh,
Good times. Well, how is the chess going and the studying and
um, it's going.
it's going? Did you talk much on Thursday just about that? Or did you guys pretty much finish at the end of the puzzles?
Talk about what exactly?
Just about doing puzzles and working on that and your thoughts there, your struggles there.
Wait, but we like you mean did you talk where? Talk to whom?
To your stream because you were streaming
Oh.
Thursday the tactics.
Oh yeah. Um it would be like I would be just cursing. Like and saying how much I hate it and how much I'm counterproductive.
Okay. So just cursing wasn't, I mean, we already kind of talked about this in the off stream lessons. You didn't feel like it was as productive as you could be because it's hard
Yeah.
for you to focus.
Yes, exactly.
And since then, have you been able to do much in the way of your own studying?
It's a constant fight between not as much as I would want to. Let's put it this way.
Okay. Okay. And is that because you're busy with the camp coming up this week before the Charlotte Open? Check it out, or other things.
I think definitely camp. Thanks for shouting out. You guys can still register, but still have few remaining places, and it's only in 2 days starting. But yeah, I think having someone like kind of keeping myself accountable would be great. And I was serious about kind of like meeting, for example, with Tony every week or twice a week, like in the but it's kind of weird because he's probably not available in the morning time. Yeah, but the morning time, like at the chess center, is when it's like the quietest.
Yeah.
and kind of like try to push each other to be focused. But yeah, you know how it goes when you're like home alone, like in terms of like in your kind of chill and work environment, you just like it's harder. It's like going somewhere else. Maybe that's why some people like to work in like that's probably why you're going to Tony's house to stream, right? Like some people go to the cafes to co-work or stuff like that. Like
Yeah.
kind of get away out of the fridge and all the other gadgets.
No, I mean that's part of it. Is it's just nice to go somewhere and stream, get out of the house, pretend like I do that on it. I mean, you guys can probably see like you thought it was just the light in here. No, I actually just don't get a lot of sun. So actually leaving the house is nice, but yeah, I think it does keep me a bit accountable and it helps for dual streaming. A lot of that just helps me engage more in it. Someone says get out of the fridge. No, shush. Um, it's the best place to be. No, so
Yeah.
yeah, definitely having some of those things that just kind of put you in the right mindset for it really help. And whatever that is, I find that there are some things that I do prefer to do alone. Like if I just go out walking, like I just want to actually leave the house and see some sunshine. I typically like going by myself because I can just listen to music. I can, kind of work through some of my thoughts and stuff. Uh, but no, I mean, it sounds like you kind of know being there with someone works for you. So trying to find that more and more course is a great idea and looking for. I mean, because Tony, yeah, he says it was great. He really enjoyed it. I think he's down to do more, but at the same time, like if you really want to push for IM, having maybe two or three people that you can do that with also could be helpful. Because as you said, like he would greatly struggle doing it in the morning because of other obligations that he has. So that's another slot that if you had someone who did work for in the morning that you could fill and that would be greatly beneficial.
Yeah, I just need to find that person because I obviously don't want to train with kids or like teenagers like it's very depressing. Yeah, I just want to find another loser adult like me who is trying to pursue their adult improver ambitions.
Loser. Wait. So I'm not gonna push for clarification if that's how you see Tony. We don't need to have that conversation right now. But you wouldn't even do it like teen. What if they're like a sharp 2350 feed a teenager?
Uh no, it's annoying. It's like I can like just every minute I look at them, I would be thinking about how they're already surpassing me.
All right, all right. Good to know. Well, that's a lot of that's a lot of side stuff. I think kind of what you're looking for there and just need to continue to grow it. Trying to lock down that with Tony. Every week I know this week will be tough with the camp, but when you can, if you
Yeah, but
guys do that, I think will be good. And then yeah, if you find someone else, I think that's pretty clear.
I mean potentially we could do that tomorrow night. Maybe I don't know, you're coming on Wednesdays? He's playing?
No, he actually has something else Wednesday night because so he had something Thursday night, but because you wanted to do Thursday night, he switched this thing to Wednesday nights. So now I think it's Wednesday nights.
Oh,
Tony
no,
can
I mean I was suggesting just for this week.
but Tony has a good question. Alex lives here. He's Dolt Improver 2300.
Oh, okay, no. 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 I'll tell you why. Well, first of all, he just returned to chess. How do you know if he even wants to work on chess? Are you laughing?
That was a good reaction.
No, I'll tell you why. It's well, he probably doesn't even want to work on chess. Probably doesn't have goals. He probably it's like he's just working like as a job, right? But no, but you gotta do it with a friend. You cannot do it with someone you don't like have any particular like.
Oh, you just don't
like,
feel that connection
right.
with him.
Yeah, because the thing the person has to inspire you. Like when I look at Tony, like I have a huge inspiration to beat him. That that fat ass motherfucker. I wanna prove him how bad he is.
Damn. This is
So
some
that's a great
shots being
motivation.
fired. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And Alex doesn't give you that.
No, Alex, he's like too nice.
He's
Too
too
good.
nice and too good.
Yeah.
That's the nicest way you could say you don't like someone.
Well, I don't particularly like people who are too nice and too kind. I find it.
Wait a second. Did you just call me a fat ass motherfucker? This girl.
You're
my goodness. Ah.
Aren't you supposed to be a
What a
babysitter at this
facial.
hour?
most productive lesson ever so far.
Where is this little
Isn't
girl?
he
get there.
supposed to be a babysitter
she's
at
up
this
there.
hour?
Yeah, he is taking care of his kids, yeah.
I can see
Where
that.
is
They're
she?
already about to put the house on fire.
Pretty
They
close.
don't even need to go to LA.
That's right. This girl. Oh my goodness. What can you say about her?
What a shot.
Freaking
man.
Queen of Dark Souls. So tomorrow night, huh?
That's just a suggestion, yeah.
I mean, we can lock it
there
in.
are quads, but I think we could go to the smaller room. I think quads are only in the big room.
We could lock it in if you want, and then maybe you can get more than one puzzle right. That'd be great.
There you go. See, that's why I like Tony. Okay, so question then, but we can do it like just this time, right? Because I guess you have to put something for the next week.
Yes, Wednesday evening or Thursday evening, one of them is always going to be taken, but I can switch them around. So this week we can do Wednesday,
for example. But I obviously don't you don't have to like I don't want to force you to force the inconvenience, but as a suggestion.
Good. I have flexibility with the thing, mainly. I know, right, Radio? Dude, she called me
But
fat
yeah,
because I tried to take her to a pizza place and she's like, "Damn, processed food, how could you?"
Exactly. But also
it's my drink. Don't drink my drink.
But speaking about nice people, it's just like, when people are too polite and too kind, it's also kind of comes across as fake, because it's just they just following the society like measures, but it's like people cannot always be nice. They have to be like moody. They have to be like we have this proverb in Russian. It's called like smile without a reason is a sign of a stupidity.
If I rephrase what you're trying to say, could it be that you think there's maybe more bullying that needs to be done? Is that what you're saying?
That was
No,
a super twist
not.
on that. I don't know.
Some just not nice
No.
things.
That was a strong misinterpretation, I think. I think it's based like the way I see it is someone that using the Russian proverb, smiles without a reason is insincere, and it's kind of hard to work with people who are not sincere, who you don't feel are genuine all the time.
Okay, that's a nice take.
Yeah, but it would be like just like if he just laughs like this and smiles, he's probably an idiot. That's kind of what they say, but that's the proverb. But what you're saying is definitely kind of having those roots. It's just yeah, it's well, it's a part of mentality, but to me personally, also comes across as a bit fake. So I know I don't. Bottom line, I don't like I don't necessarily like people who are too nice. Like they have to have a little bit of wittiness and a little bit of sharpness that like they like, or not hide it completely, even if they have it.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, on that note, I think we should jump into
I
some
think
chess.
that was a good thing.
I think we should jump into some chess. Real. This it was a great conversation though.
Yeah, but I do like
Life
listen. If I
philosophy
had the
lesson.
perfect, if I had a perfect like study buddy, like I could go like really like many times a week, like in the mornings to the like to the chess center, for example, and just kind of study for 2 hours. That could be done, but just like obviously when I'm at home, I'm just gonna do like lots of everything and nothing at the once.
Yeah, I just think Canty needs to already live here.
Yes, yeah, Canty would be perfect. Canty would be amazing. We would stream it. We would literally come log in and stream our IRL trainings. Just tell him. I'm waiting for him.
And then you guys
Exactly.
just bust out the weights and you do the exercise right after too.
Yes,
Perfect session.
Yeah.
Dude, Kate, why don't we do tactics with her and then we all go to the gym together? Come on, Kayden.
Yes, exactly. Your fat ass needs to exercise too.
Nah. I'm okay.
Come on, even Kingsley went to leg day with me this Sunday.
Yeah, but I like how much it bugs you. And I'm talking to Tony about that.
Horrible.
All right, do some chess.
All right. Some chess. Imagine the audacity. All right. So this is an example of what might be going through Dina's head when she's in these intense training sessions, and one of the things she's working on. It's easy to get distracted, y'all.
Yeah.
Okay, so the classroom actually is just the same as the
Yeah, I'm there.
last one. You're here. Okay, you have ability to move. So from your games, for those that saw the last one, okay, we ended up talking a lot about psychology, but a bit of a focus lately has been on these. Let me just put it on the board. These structures. Carlsbad structures. I simply call these 4 versus 3 on the queen side, which is a super long name, but that's just how I've gotten to know this structure. So we've been working a lot on these and looking at these and going through them with different games. You guys can't see this, but I also, like, just as an example, one game we talked about on a lesson off stream was this one. Fortunately versus Karpov, also in this structure. So that's all in this classroom. But one thing I was thinking about as I was looking through the games is we have managed to look at games where you've played more with the black pieces and not as much where you've had the white pieces in these structures. So I was looking through, and this one definitely caught my attention. We've gone through a couple other games from the Malibu Botez camp, but this one you had the white pieces.
Rip.
Jennifer, you in this structure, and it was a wild game.
Rip Malibu.
Yeah, so I think we should start here and go through this game, and I think you can start by just the opening seemed normal, but it quickly got pretty crazy with f3 and h4. So just your thoughts kind of around these moments.
So yeah, again, as you noticed, there were a lot of games. There were 3 games at the Botas chess camp from Carlsbad, and I got only half a point, right? And I was supposed to get 0 out of 3. And that's crazy. But I think I was repassing some lines before the game, like kind of in panic.
Mm-hmm.
And then yeah, I was definitely repassing some lines and obviously kind of scrambling. And what it's not scrambling, there is some word for it. Like you see what I mean?
Scramming,
Mm-hmm.
cramming.
Cramming, yeah, yes, I think that's the word.
Yeah.
So I was trying to do that, and I think I just confused the move order because in I think it was supposed to be short castle, knight f8, and then f3. So I was just trying to, and I was doing this is stupid, obviously, but you don't remember. Stop trying to remember the move. Instead, use your critical thinking, use your head, and try to think and come up with moves that make sense, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
So
that's no, for sure. A lot more people get themselves in trouble trying to play what they thought was their prep and then misremembering than just kind of scrapping their prep and playing chess. Surprise. Decent players quite often. So here the part because you were worried about 94 during the game,
yeah,
right? And so you played this F3 move. I so if I remember correctly from this 94 I thought was only an issue if you play like this H6 bishop H4. I could be remembering wrong, but I thought here 94 is an issue, but with the pawn on H7, I mean as you already know it's not an issue.
yeah. So like if they just play knight e4, I just play f3, and then take on h7. Oh
Right.
no! I just take with the bishop and attack the. Oh, I'm confused.
Yeah, so
No,
no,
not
no, here
take, not take.
bishop f4, yeah. And then you're
Well,
threatening e4 and f3
one
now is an
second.
annoyance.
Bishop 4. Yeah. So see now I remembered something, but I forgot what. No, you showed me. I'm like, oh god, I wouldn't have found it. So I looked at it already twice, and I remember there is some like there is some weakness on h7, but I forgot again. So good thing that you reminded me. But yeah, so that's the reason. Sag.
um
Sorry.
yeah, that's just you speak about smile without a reason. I don't know. I like to laugh at a lot of silly things. It's me. Um but
No, it's more like you're like looking at the person and they're like smiling to you, which is like a very typical Western society polite thing to do. You look at them and they smile. If they don't smile, it means they're rude. And in Russia, like if people do that, you think that something's wrong with you or
it's the
something's wrong
opposite.
with them. And they're like just rewards, to put it correctly.
Okay, my bad.
So
Yeah,
yeah.
so okay, just an understanding. This is the point of the game that I think having the engine on to really understand this pretty clearly is quite good. So just to make sure I'm right on this, h6 bishop h4, rook e8 is 94. No, 94 isn't even an issue. Oh no, it is. You don't have bishop g3 anymore, right? You can't move the bishop in the trade. This is playable. It looks like it's playable for white. You go for d5 quickly, but we do tend to want to avoid allowing knight e4 if we have to take. So it does feel like if h6, if you were playing this bishop h4 stuff, then yeah, you do want to be a bit more mindful of knight e4. You still could go for that line, but like f3 here probably makes more sense to prevent knight e4, and then your bishops are ready to slide back to f2 if needs be. So you have those options. and then rook e8. Yeah, f3 here. It doesn't like as much, but it's also h6. We're going bishop f4 in this case, just to avoid all these ideas with the bishops eyeing
And
each
then
other.
here, the fact that here knight d4 is not a threat was also like something I didn't understand. So if knight d4, I think it's just bishop takes, pawn takes, and knight g3, and we win a. Oh, there is g5. Whoa. Oh, we just win a pawn? Oh yeah, we just take everything. I'm stupid. Sorry. If knight d4 here, we just take it.
Yes. Yeah, you did. You lost me for a second there because I thought you were just stating that knight e4 didn't work anymore, and then I heard g5 and whoa, and I wasn't fully sure what was going on. But yeah, bishop f4 is good in this case to avoid any sort of these knight e4 ideas. And a big part of the difference here is black has committed rook e8, so that kind of prepared knight e4 since you have the extra support of e4. So we're trying to avoid it, and with knight e4, bishop f4. In this case, again, we're just trying to avoid this, and you might think, well, the rook can open anyway if the bishop moves, but count it. If we make the trade, black gets 2 defenders on e4. If we avoid the trade, the best black can do is 1 defender. So it's not that the bishop on f4 is necessarily an unbelievable piece. Like, it's a decent piece. It covers some good squares. But in this case, it's really about this e4 square and maximizing the pressure. Now, I also would take this just a step further. And you can point out, I've seen this idea. I was not paying attention to it here. But the one actual clear benefit to this bishop on f4, if black tries to solidify,
Oh yeah,
knight takes d5, just wins on the spot. If black takes back, which obviously he doesn't want to be down a pawn, bishop c7 traps the queen.
Mm-hmm.
So some real danger there. So that, I mean, as far as this whole exchange, yeah, knight e4 can be an idea. It seems like it's not the biggest concern because black is still not that developed, like still working on their own development. So even if they got it, you're either taking on e4 in that one line and then going for d5 where you get some decent activity, or in these other lines, you simply move your bishop and say, surprise, you have pressure on e4. I have this sneaky knight takes d5 idea. You know, good luck defending against all the threats. You instead played f3, h6, and h4.
Yeah, that was a self how you say in like, yeah, that was, I thought, okay, so here's my reasoning, and I think I wrote it right. I was like, before like, because or since, like, I remember it was f3 and there was no h6, and since there was no h6, there must be a refutation to that, and it cannot be just bishop f4 because it's just like kind of lame and not making sense. But especially I would be in trouble after knight h5 if I go bishop f4, so it must be h4. So I tried to justify it, and I did.
Yeah, so this is something I've learned from opponents. This is something I've learned from my own games. It's surprising how many moves, like we treat opening prep like this. We prep this line. If our opponent doesn't follow theory, then this particular move, there must be a problem with it. But oftentimes, like, it's a very small thing, or the most reasonable natural moves still give an opponent something natural. I actually, so this is a bit, we're kind of shifting for a second, but I experienced this. I played a game, I guess 2 years. I mean, it's a new year, 2 years ago now, or 1.5, where my opponent, we
Wait, I
got
thought you
into,
had a break since like before a year ago.
it was a 6-year break, and my first tournament was at the end of 2023.
Oh, okay, I see. So that tournament.
Yeah, sorry. You played
It wasn't
kind of
in
this set.
Charlotte.
The actual moves. No, my first tournament in Charlotte was the Charlotte Open. Almost a year ago now, Charlotte Open coming up. But my opponent played this, Bishop B5. And this is first tournament. I took, 6 years from playing serious. Like I played a Blitz tournament here. I played a Rapid and Blitz tournament there. Closer to that 2023, but a pretty sizable break from just serious chess, classical chess. Finally, first classical tournament in over 6 years. My opponent plays this, and usually I play g6, bishop g7 to avoid bishop b5 ideas. And because he had played f4 and he had kind of waited to develop the bishop, suddenly I found myself playing knight c6 and then like, oh yeah, bishop b5 now is an option. Now, I knew knight d4 should be fine for black, but I'm like, look, I haven't looked at theory in a long time. I have no idea my plan after knight d4. And so I sit there and I'm like, to me, it makes more sense. Let me take some time, even though it's early in the opening, and see if I can find another move that feels just playable. Take my opponent out of his prep. I don't want to play against the computer and, see how it goes. And I sat there and I thought for a good while. I'm like, okay, he wants to take my knight. That's the main idea. Bishop e5, ruin my structure. What if I move my knight? Okay, where can I move my knight? And I started thinking about it, and I came up with this knight a5 move that I found reasonable during the game, and even after I checked it, it's actually a fairly reasonable move. Very uncommon compared to knight d4 if you're going to move, or if you're going to, yeah, you're going to move this knight, you're going to play the main stuff, but I decided to go for knight a5, and it was a lot of kind of my own learning of, hey, if I can see some reason behind it, I can see I have a plan. So I have a6, b5 here, going for like bishop b7, and he has to figure out what to do with his bishop, that it's not the end of the world. And I think this often is more the case than we give it credit for. There are some openings and lines that are very forced. That yes, if you play one wrong move, game over. But more often than not, this is the case where there are side moves that may not be the best, aren't the main line for a reason, but are still playable or are still decent. And so it's important to be careful of that attitude of my opponent avoided my prep, I'm going to just destroy them. Because chess is resourceful. There's a lot of plans, there's a lot of ideas, and our opponents are able to find some sort of reason in the moves they're playing. Sometimes it's not the best reason, but it's a direction, it's a plan, and oftentimes a bad plan is better than no plan at all. So yeah, definitely it's a long way of saying it, but I think it's so important to have that because I've caught myself doing that quite often. Even if I don't play a move like h4, trying to punish my opponent for going outside of prep, it's spending a lot of time trying to find a way to punish them. And unless it is one of those lines like a serious mainline Najdorf, where it has to be super theoretical, and even sometimes then, most games, most positions, there is that little bit of flexibility, or maybe this isn't the best move, but is it going to be losing on the spot? No, and don't treat it like it is. Treat it like any other game. Look at it, take it in. What's the best move? What's your next plan? How are you creating threats? And move on.
Yeah. I think so basically what you're saying is that that's not a super concrete position, so most likely there would be no refutation. And I should have just played bishop f4 instead of trying to prove like myself that h4 must be a good move.
Yeah, I do think be very careful about trying to refute a move. And especially if it is not a super concrete line, like super dangerous, super forcing. But I also think anytime your opponent surprises you, it's better to have an attitude of, I'm playing a game, not Stockfish didn't recommend this. I'm going to destroy you now. Like, play chess. Treat any position the same. Same thought process. It's still good. Creating those threats, improving your pieces, all that's still good. That doesn't change just because your opponent didn't play the Stockfish move.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Makes sense.
You played h4, which, I mean, as you know, very much not in line with this position. Moving this bishop pretty simply makes a lot of sense, where down the road you're going to go for ideas with e4. Now, you mentioned bishop f4. This one I think is worth checking with the computer because, yeah, in this case I do think you want to go bishop h4 because of knight h5. And we don't have knight takes d5 because of queen a5. Oh no, we just don't. What am I missing? What am I blind to? Oh, because of bishop b4 check. Even better. Bishop c7, bishop b4, queen gets out. So we don't have that same idea.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
our king's still in the center of the board. There are checks that are issues for us. So because of that, we don't want the bishop on f4. We don't have the same threat. Better to sneak this bishop to h4. And simple. Right? And you will notice in this case, yeah, the evaluation is equal. You know, h6, maybe not the most in line with what you know of this position, but is it a crazy move? Is it a... No, it's still... There's some sense to it. And, you know, it's playable.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so h4, she goes c5.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this was just calculation, right? With calculation and positional understanding.
I think it's also psychology because I kind of scare her. But I think on that note, I think whatever I would choose, bishop f4 or bishop or h4, or did you say bishop h4 was also a move?
Previously bishop h4 was better because of knight h5.
Okay, so bishop h4 or h4. I think I should have done pretty fast. Like, even if I want to do h4, I'm not going to be able to calculate everything. And if I go for just scaring my opponent and kind of bluffing, and as if it was my prep, then I should do it fast. Because what happened here, I thought for, let's say, 15 to 20 minutes, and she thought for 30 minutes. So imagine if I thought for 10 minutes, and she thought for like 5 minutes, and she thought for 30 minutes, right? Because I thought a lot, but she thought even more. So we were just like two... kind of like and I know Jennifer, and so kind of like we're really like kind of in the same pot of not training enough and not being interested enough for someone for players of our caliber, so more like kind of just competitors, and now she's like in Harvard, so she doesn't have that much time for chess. So I kind of like so I should have. But the one thing that is, she has like a huge quality is that regardless of the fact that she doesn't necessarily work on her chess, she's extremely confident, and she kind of believes that she can still make it. Like, kind of, how you say, is it also cram it? No, not cram it, but like in the moment she can like when you come and you improvise, right, and you succeed without a prep.
Yeah, she can...
It's not like jingle, I don't know.
I don't think it's jingle. People can correct me on that, but...
Wing it, that's the thing, you chat.
Yes.
Wing it, yeah. She has extreme confidence on the, like, that she thinks that she can wing it. So that's what I definitely admire. But otherwise, like, she has exact same like flaws as I do in terms of not working enough, not analyzing the games, not like doing tactics, not being necessarily interested into looking at chess, right? It's more like of a competitor and the product of a society that like she is like comes from an Asian family who are like extremely demanding. So she would do chess like kind of like Nemo, for example, also in the same category, right? Became a WGM with kind of like absolutely not having any passion for the game. So yeah, that my point is that she had no prep at all. She didn't repass anything, and she plays like, being a student, she plays like 2 tournaments a year. You see what I mean? So she will be a perfect opponent for to kind of bluff with h4 against, and f3 and h4. So, but yeah, unfortunately, I didn't have enough courage to play it faster. That was my biggest regret.
Yeah. No, it's so I think the thing with h4 that I guess confuses me a little bit is like, say black didn't make a move here. What's the follow up to h4?
Maybe g4.
Okay, and then you want to go g5
or bishop f4, so that there's no knight h5, knight h over like long castle.
Okay, so I mean, okay, just from that, it feels like you're not fully sure, right? Because h4, like the benefit of h4, yeah, it could be some sort of g5 idea at some point, but you're playing it now where you have this calculation to do, but this bishop still needs to get out of the way, right? Like the bishop's still in the way, so it feels like you spend all this work playing h4 to achieve what you could have achieved with bishop h4 anyways. Because here, the plan, if you really want to attack on the king side, bishop goes to f2, at h4, g4, g5, right? Like it still greatly exists. That same idea, which okay is not typical for these positions. It include that, because your king goes over here, you have to be ready for c5, b5, b4. Like it can exist, but it's not typical for these positions, which can already be sort of a sign maybe it's the wrong direction. But again, you spend all this time calculating it, when even if that's the direction you do want to go, I think you can play this pretty quickly and move on with life.
Yeah. That's one thing that I want to be able to do in the upcoming Charlotte Open, is to be able to play faster, and to play faster in general, just to play faster.
Yeah, it helps. It helps. Okay, someone had a question. I don't.
Damn, that was another painful game. All those bad memories bringing in.
It's okay. You go relive the bad memories so you can make good memories.
Very funny.
It wasn't supposed to be a joke. It was supposed to be a cheesy, uplifting sentence. But glad there's humor. Yeah, okay, this part gets all very crazy, but somehow, I mean, your position here feels reasonable, right?
Yeah, I'm better, and I was ahead on time. So just like I opened the game. So look, I played f3 with 7 minutes. She played h6 with 6 minutes. I played h4 with 17 minutes of thinking, and she had 1 hour 22. She played c5, she had 48 minutes. So more than 34 minutes, 35 minutes. She pushed on c5. I played bishop f4 in 4 minutes, and she played c4 in another 7 minutes. So after bishop f5, she blundered, I think, bishop f5. I am 1 hour on the clock, and she's 40 minutes, right? So, I have an advantage on the position and in time.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
It's a great place to be.
And then here, I think she just blundered bishop f4, she told me. And here,
bishop.
But unfortunately for me, oh my god, could you imagine? And then, so queen f6, here I play bishop e4 right away. I have 43 minutes, she has 31 minutes, and she plays bishop e6, she has 14 minutes. So I have 40 minutes, 43 versus 14. So like 30 minutes advantage and a better position. But unfortunately, the best move here is knight h5. But I looked at it, and then I thought to myself, this very typical conclusion that I make, which is my weakness, is that too abstract, right? I thought, no, but what's my knight gonna do there? It's on the side, on the edge of the board, right? And I stopped. But there is a great idea behind knight h5, which is after, let's say, queen d8, we go d5, and then we go d5 and queen c3. So we attack the oh, you go f4 here.
Oh, so queen e7, right? Because now,
Okay.
now if you go d5, I'm at least
I
eyeing
thought
this.
queen
Maybe I
d8,
don't know
queen
if I can.
e7.
Maybe I can't. Get away with
Yeah,
that.
queen e7 is something else. So in the 4, like, you see how we kind of like kill our own knight, but this is the side where we attack. So it's one of those rare moments when, like, fast scanning through the position, I made a conclusion that the knight was bad. But it's crazy how, yeah, this is concrete. We just get the bishop, and black doesn't have 2 bishops anymore.
Yeah, and
Isn't that beautiful?
you've created a little bit of space because your opponent, I don't know, she has very good pressure here, and you have to be mindful of some sacrificing ideas. So having that kind of nice setup where your pawns defend the dark squares, you're dominating the light squares, like it just feels a lot safer for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's no kind of. I mean, you already covered it, but it is what I was thinking with knight h5. Like this is knight h5 to me is about evaluating this position here.
Yeah, this is like a dream position, right? We restrict, we cover all the dark squares, we cover all the black squares, we have the center. Like, yeah. Imagine we bring the rook on e5 or on
Yeah,
rook
so
h5, rook e5.
yeah, but I think the other thing, is
Yes.
I don't love the knight on f4.
Oh, you don't?
I actually don't love the knight on f4. Like for defense, it makes sense right now, but in general, where's it going? Right? Like, if I'm gonna attack in this position as white, I'm currently feeling in this territory. And
Yeah.
knight h5 to me almost feels like it helps with that, with this f4. Okay, outside of trading, there could be some f5, f6 ideas. If we're able to get this pawn running, you know, f4, g4, g5, and this knight, it does contribute to this, where this knight on f4, like I don't know if I see the vision outside of wanting to potentially take on e6. So to me, I almost see the decision just, okay, we can play other moves for now, but for this knight is, do we want to take on e6 or knight h5 where we run the pawns? Now, additionally, if we're calculating queen e7, we have the thought of trading that knight for the f6 bishop, which makes sense because this bishop is actually it's a better defender of the dark squares than the knight is an attacker of the dark squares. So, better defender, yeah, an attacker, but not as an effective attacker. Okay, outside of the defensive purposes, it makes sense to trade it. But in general, if for your attacking side, knight h5 makes sense to me. Like the knight attacks the king side better on h5 itself, as well as allows these pawn pushes to start happening. So I don't think it's that crazy of a move.
Yeah.
But that's this is where I think it gets tricky on this side of things, that you have these concepts in chess, like a knight on the rim is dim, is how I was told growing up. That, you know, just a knight on the edge of the board isn't as good. but you should always look at what a piece is doing on the square. And what a piece is doing is more important than the visuals, so to say. One of my favorite examples of this is a Karpov game. Karpov has this rook on a5, is attacking two pawns. Okay, they're defended, but attacking two pawns. It's in an endgame a7 c5, and Kasparov has a rook on the b file, completely open. And I love this game because one point I always make is, okay, what's the best piece for white? What's the best piece for black? For black, yes, the rook on the open file is good. It's the best piece. But for either side, this rook on a5 is the best. And you say, wait a second, the rook on the open file, I was lied to. Rook on open file is the best. What are you talking about? It's like, well, why is a rook on the open file good? Because when it's on an open file, it can move more, has more opportunities to attack. And so if a rook is already creating the attack, the threats, that is better than a rook on the open file in this case that can't create those threats, because that's what it's ultimately about. It's the same thing with a knight. A knight in the center of the board, it is more likely to create threats because it hits more squares. That's just reality. When it's in the center of the board, it hits 8 squares. When it's on the edge of the board, it hits 4. But if those 4 squares it's hitting greatly exceeds the value of the 8 squares, we'll take the 4 squares every day. So what is it attacking? What threats is it creating? In this case, what is it getting out of the way of? And that's more valuable than this knight that is, we talk about a bishop as a big pawn. This knight currently feels like a big pawn. Just keeping the shelter. That's it.
Okay. That was a lot. I'm not sure I caught everything, but I tried my best.
Okay. Basically, the purpose of a piece is to create threats, sometimes defend, and any piece, wherever it is located, if it is creating threats, there is value in that.
Wow. So let me repeat. Any piece, even if it stands in a weird square but creates a threat, is justified. Let's say the knight on the rim is dim, but if it's creating threats, then there could be unsensed that, and I shouldn't forget about that.
Yeah, chess.
Is that correct?
Yeah, chess. We're trying to checkmate our opponent, and if we're getting closer to that, then we sometimes will ignore the visual or the sort of principles. So yeah, knight on the rim, if it is creating threats, that's something to take into consideration and often go for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that okay, I'll try to pay more attention to that, for sure.
Yeah. In my long spiel, it is that simple. And I do think I use the rook example because I think that's the biggest one. We just hear time and time again that a rook on an open file is good. But if a rook is on an open file and not creating threats, then give me the rook that is creating threats. That maybe isn't on an open file.
Okay.
And same with the knight. Oh, yeah. Okay, you play rook d1, rook b8, and they go for d5. Playing in the center in this game. Yeah, again, we see knight h5 first is effective because the queen does get some play here, so kicking it away before doing any of that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I see your lines once again. Knight h5. And it's kind of the other part to it. I think the knight does do some good things there, but it's also the queen. The queen is the queen. The queen is more valuable. And so, putting our knight somewhere that makes our opponent's queen, their most powerful piece, worse, it seems to be common thread throughout all this. Okay, finally she takes, and you're starting to hit. What was the time situation here?
Let me tell you. So rook d4. So I spent. Okay, so she had. So I played. Okay, 43 minutes after rook d1, 35 minutes versus 14. Rook 12 minutes after rook b8, d5. Oh god, 35 minutes to play d5. It took me almost 20 minutes. So 17 minutes. So bishop d7, rook d4, 2 more minutes. So 16 to 12. b5, 11.
So this
d6.
took you 20
God.
minutes.
Yeah. So bad. But it's all confidence and nerves. No confidence and extreme stress, because of high stakes. Oh yeah, that I should have explained that this was literally the game for the first place, because we were two biggest kind of two highest seats, right? So the size of this. This is so disgusting.
Wait, you still have 2 more games after this, right? This is round 5.
No, but I think I would be with lower, obviously with less.
But
yeah.
Why are you thinking about that? There's lots of chess. You have a game. You have moves. So much other stuff that's so much nicer to think
but
about.
it's easier said than done.
Yes.
If I was a coach to my own self, I would also say all that stuff. Just focus on the moves. But it's it's so hard.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't know if I want to spend too long because we've talked about this a lot. I think a lot of my feelings towards that. We'll continue to have these little
I need
moments
to play
here
faster.
and there, but I'm curious on this position. What are you thinking about? Because I see 2 moves: d5, knight takes e6, and knight h5. I guess queen c3 first, but
maybe I was thinking. No, I was thinking about rook d2 or d5 or queen. Yeah, rook d2. Yeah, rook d2 to double the rooks. I was trying to see if I don't lose this pawn. Oh, I was trying to understand, should I push d5 or not? Because I would give her squares. Dark squares and weaken my pawn potentially if I would lose it or not.
You would lose what?
The d pawn. If I push it to d6, will I lose it or not? Basically, I was calculating the same line, which happened in the game, and I was just trying to understand, am I losing there or not?
So wait, you mentioned d6 though. So you're thinking about this position.
Yeah. Should I push it now or should I first play rook d2 and then b5, d5?
Okay. And if rook d2, what are you worried about?
b5? I was just trying to understand if it's better or not. If it's safer, maybe. Maybe b4, I don't know.
By the way, c4.
Hey,
looking
well,
awfully
yeah.
delicious.
I don't know. I was just seeing ghosts everywhere. This is so painful.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all go through it. I had a pretty solid period when I think I was 2200 VA that I really struggled with time pressure and spending too much time. But I mean, this is why I ask, because I think as you actually vocalize this line, I mean, you kind of see it like, well, you're spending all this time on rook d2. I like rook d2. I almost prefer rook d2 at a glance because I like the idea of maybe taking back with the e pawn, so you just never have to worry about queen h4.
Yeah, we don't commit.
Yeah, right? Like it's just you keep that pressure, you keep your opponent thinking about it. d5's never going away. Like once rook d8 happens, then maybe you're like, okay, am I about to lose the opportunity to d5 because she has so much defending it, or she's gonna take and play bishop d5 herself? Then it's more of a thought. But right now, you play rook d2. If rook d8, then d5. Like this hasn't. I don't think this has gone away. Bishop d7, rook d1. Like it's still there. I mean, c4 also is potentially takeable now with the protection on b2. Like it seems pretty straight up. And I'm not saying there's not stuff to think about, but at least I'm not seeing it. And that to me feels like spend a minute, maybe do a quick double take like, hey, am I spacing anything that opens up because of rook d2? And then if it's not there, like, okay, I know rook d2 maybe feels a little bit slower, but I keep that pressure. I protect b2, so my queen might have some more freedom after d5. Feels really nice. I keep the option open of e takes f4. Like not that crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. Um. Yeah. As I said, you can't play e takes f4 because the rook hangs, but somewhere I kind of like e takes f4 just to not have to even think about
That
this.
makes
But
sense. I think I was just kind of in a way blundering. Like in terms of like I was just not considering bishop f4 as a serious candidate because I thought it would be um like I thought it would be like just why would she ever give away her bishop, right?
mm-hmm.
So I wasn't really like even paying attention to the fact that she could just take the on f4.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, feels that way, but it's a capture. It's a forcing move, and those are the things I like to say you keep in your back pocket. It's part of why forcing moves, even if you're not playing them right now, I think are good to be aware of, because forcing moves a forcing move, and even if it leads to nothing right now, it easily can. Just like a tool belt, we have maybe a series of tools that we could use, and while right now, we might not be using one of them, doesn't mean it won't be needed for the particular job or game soon. Um, okay, so it gets into a bit of this craziness, and then here this feels, correct me if I'm wrong, a little bit of like a bailout type, like you're feeling the pressure and you just kind of trade everything off,
Oh
hoping
yeah,
to
I
make it
do that
happen in the end
often.
game.
Yeah, I was so happy to trade. Also for me, like in general, it's hard for me to calculate, so it's like less pieces are on the board, and especially under pressure, easier it is for me to control what is actually happening on the board.
Yeah. Yeah, because I don't know, at this point it feels like something has gone wrong. I mean, not that it's lost, but I like your position better earlier than I do here by a good margin.
Yeah.
And yeah, rook takes e4. I don't know if it's necessary, but now it's kind of more understandable because moving this rook feels a bit scary with queen h4 and the bishop pressure. So this rook feels a bit stuck. But if you're not bringing that rook into the game, then what else are you doing? Except rook takes c4. The only thing I'm kind of thinking is maybe you could try some sort of bishop d5 somewhere, but that also has some lines and stuff that you have to figure out. And it's a bit of a mess.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the endgame stage. Well, uh, here I actually would say I probably would expect f5 immediately. I mean, I think the ideal setup in my mind for her is like f5, g6, h5, where this pawn lingers. This pawn you'll have to be careful of. I know something about locking this pawn. I think you getting an f6 was good.
Yeah, that she just let me do that. That was too too much, yeah.
Yeah. Because, I mean, it's not just your double pawns, but then, if this pawn's gone on g7, she has to be more conscious about defending the h6 pawn. Just all around. So this, I think you were actually playing the endgame pretty well.
With no time, yeah. And here, unfortunately, I had already like the huge advantage, which I really did not understand. And I'll tell you why. So if we continue with the game, when I get here, I guess even here, d5 somewhere, right? D5, and I didn't put it. Let me check. I think it's d5
Looks
somewhere
like
here.
d5 before rook a7.
Yeah, here. So yeah, so d5. So this is like just almost winning, but I was worried that I shouldn't push too early. The d pawn again, I wasn't like able to calculate. I was with general assessments that I thought that she would be able to block, and I thought this would be a weakness, right? Restricting my bishop and the stuff, but apparently this is winning. And I like when I look at it, I'm trying. Okay, maybe it's like the rook has nowhere to go. Is that so?
So, yeah, the rook, I think a big part of the issue is probably just some sort of zugzwang
B3.
challenges for,
Yeah, b3 here.
yeah, b3.
And
I mean, it's
and that this is
good
not a
play.
problem, right? Because we will just stop it and win it.
Yeah, and f5 would disrupt the protection.
So that was yeah. And another thing that I got carried away is that I thought here I can kind of like it gets also the same kind of thing. Like Zugzwang. But except for here it does not. Like here for a moment, and she got scared. I thought I was really like, look at this rook. This is the maximum I could get, and I thought I was really like kind of on the path to win. But unfortunately, there isn't much here.
Yeah, so I mean, a lot of endgame principle wise, why d5, like the difference of these is actually getting your king to d4 because, okay, you have a light square bishop. You can take squares, you can maybe create some threats, but at the end of the day, her bishop's going to neutralize your bishop in most situations. And I mean, her pawns are kind of sitting on dark squares. So where you can really take advantage and what happens in this d5 line is king activity.
Yeah.
Right? Your king is already more active on e3 than hers on e7, and it even extends to this after d5. And I think the only thing I would add outside of the benefit of king activity, okay, there's also some piece restriction. Throwing in b3, which is a very tough move to play. It's actually like a very high level move, but yeah, not allowing the rook to come to b4 because there are some big annoyances in that situation is super valuable. But you mentioned this d5 pawn potentially being in trouble, which I think it's important to kind of note how difficult that would be because you put your king on d4, which will happen. King c5 hangs the bishop, so the king is getting to d4. You have two defenders on this pawn already, which means it takes 3 attackers to take it. You're looking at some setup like rook b5, bishop b7, king d6, which already would take a lot for black to get without hanging f7. But even in that scenario, like it's hard to imagine you don't have a rook h6 or a rook d8 or excuse me, like one of these moves that will kick the king away outside of being able to just move your rook somewhere that it's protected. Like there are so many ways to protect the d5 pawn that because you're getting king d4, it's not an issue. Now the
Yeah.
difference between what happens and I imagine it says you don't have a whole lot. You say, oh, well, d5, trying to get d4. Well, this rook on f6, as garbage as it looks, actually restricts the king
Yeah, we
move.
cannot go. Yeah, it makes our king stuck, right?
Yeah, so surprising. I mean, I'm still a little surprised you have absolutely nothing here. But as far
See, you
as
got the same instincts as me.
yeah, it feels like there should be a way to push, but the king is
It's
just
because you're a
so stuck.
product of the Russian chess school.
I know, right? How'd that happen?
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but yeah, the king activity is important in endgames, and just about any endgame. I think here in particular, it is just it is the difference between pushing for a win and not. And since your king actually got tied down, the opportunity, the advantage slipped away.
Yeah.
For the rest of this game, I don't know how much needs to be said because it just slipped away from you in time pressure.
And here, yeah, so I was like, when I blundered that, like, I'll just tell you the story. So first of all, I thought I was playing for a win, and I unfortunately,
Okay, I will say f5.
completely
Honestly,
blundered. I blundered
f5's
king c5.
questionable.
Wait a second.
My
Just before that, I blundered king c5, right? What was I thinking? But yeah, I blundered it. And then here, I blundered king d4, maybe. No, wait, I blundered something. Oh, I blundered king e5. That's what I blundered. I thought the king was gonna go back, so I thought I was perfect here, but I blundered. And you can put the evil bar, maybe just for the sake of it. But so I blundered king e5, and in fact, as a matter of fact, here I had rook d8. Had I seen the king e5, I probably would start looking for something else. And here I had rook d8, and that's like the biggest chance to play for a win that I ever had since a while. But I was just so focused on this, and yeah, blundered that because I remembered that my pawn was on f4. And after that, I panicked so much that I spent like, I don't know what, all the time I had, just like kind of being paralyzed and trying to think, but I wasn't really like calculating that much. So I was just gambling, and as a matter of fact, bishop d3 is okay. It doesn't lose. So, like, okay, like kind of tables turned. I'm not playing for a win anymore, but I just need to be careful not to lose, right? Because remember, I'm playing with like someone for the first place, so to be. So, like, yeah. So not giving them a chance to get ahead of.
yeah. Wait. I'm just trying to fully understand here.
Still, here was a better move that I did. Like if I don't do rook, like just probably rook b6, I think, by memory. I think it was rook b6.
Okay. Well, what's wrong with rook f6? Am I just blind right now?
Yeah.
Just
Is
simple
it king
rook
e5?
king e5. I take like what's just trying to understand the difference between bishop d3 and bishop c2.
Maybe check then, if you go check first.
Okay, wait, hold on. Rook check, king d2, rook e2, king d3, no. And that rook e2 check does look annoying.
King d3, oh no. And then, yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Yeah, because bishop c2 at a glance even makes more sense. So you have bishop e3 check going after f7. But
Yeah.
maybe the idea is different altogether. And now that I'm thinking about it, I think the idea is different altogether. I think here rook a7 is not the
I think it was
evaluation
something
bar
with
guessing.
the F bar.
Beautiful day.
No, it was something with the F pawn. No, maybe like
No, maybe this
check.
rook e2 is
Like rook F1 or
something enough.
something. Rook F1 somewhere.
Alright, I'm gonna cheat. It is rook f1.
Yeah, that it's just by memory. I kind of remember
That's
it.
rook f1.
Yeah, it's
Because rook
something.
f3 is just such a pain.
Then rook F2, King C1. Maybe it's just like squeezing my balls.
That's wild. That's actually a wild difference. That would be very difficult to spot.
The thing is, I wouldn't be able to understand that or calculate, so just I really like wasted my time. But
Yeah. So the reason I bring this up is because to me, I feel like the bigger mistake is not actually bishop c2, right? Like to me, the bigger mistake is
here, yeah,
this bishop e4 move, like rook b6 or rook f6, like. Because rook f6, I think rook f1 is just, I don't think that's natural. Like, you look at it, you see the evaluation, and the computer's like, oh, rook f1's so easy, but that that kind of calm type play, when you have these checks, you have opportunities to go after pawns. I mean, rook a2 also goes after b2. You have rook e1, rook e2 idea. You have, king e5. Like, you have all these ideas. Or rook a7 to protect the pawn. I do feel like the greater mistake is kind of this direction, not playing either rook b6 or rook f6.
yeah. I think I was just completely like in like kind of I was in shock from after having blundered, and I didn't kind of how you say recover from that, and I was kind of like in tilt but also in panic. Was a mix of both.
Yeah, and that's kind of a good reminder that I personally, even though rook f6 is a technical blunder, because rook f1 I think is a very difficult move to play in time pressure, I do think just the better approach, if you can calm yourself down. I mean, this is simple chess, right? Rook b6 attacks a pawn, rook f6 attacks a pawn. I think your chances of holding this position are better after either one. So if you could just calm down for a second, then I mean, the opportunity is there. Like here, I personally would expect rook a7, just low on time, like rook a7 or rook e1. I think are the more natural moves. I would even take
Yeah.
h4. It's like rook f1. I think just hitting a pawn that's already protected, unless you can spot how effective rook f3 is, kicking the king away for pushing this pawn, which again, very tricky. That takes a lot of vision. I still think just the simple attack here. Uh, if you don't panic over missing king e5, like you still have good chances to hold.
Yeah.
So obviously rook b6 is better, but yeah, because here, even though the evaluation is lower, I mean, now you have to play bishop d3. Bishop d3, I, I, yeah, it's a move. It's like you'd have to do some serious time spending and studying to understand why bishop d3 is the only move here and how it holds, because that's just like bishop d3 to me is not natural at all.
Yeah.
So
Oh, is bishop d3 protecting a rook f1 from rook f1?
yeah, but rook f1, I mean, it's not like the rook is completely immobile. Like allowing king g5 though. Like, this is tricky, no?
Yeah.
I mean, now that we've looked at this position, yeah, absolutely stop rook f1, and there's some sense. But yeah, low on time. I think it's tough. I think it's very tough to defend.
Hmm.
Interesting endgame.
So I shouldn't be too sad because I just practically got myself into a tough situation, right?
Well, I think the practical mistakes there. I'm not a huge fan of f5 personally in this position because
So f5 happened to be whatever I was worried about d5, right? By playing f5, I actually got like gave away dark squares, blocked the pawn on the white square, and kind of weakened.
yeah, it is one of those. I feel like you play d5, f5, but you don't play both, right? Because then the dark squares
Yeah,
really open up.
and the d5 at least it's a pass pawn, so it has a potential. But maybe it's just like, but I should have an instinct, right? So it's just I really blundered, right? If I didn't blunder that, because my idea was rook c, just block this
Yeah.
and then kick the king, and I really overlooked that. But again, like, see, this is the level of calculation that I have. So then my theory, I would always come down to, like, I almost don't need that smart book. I just need puzzle rush survival, because that's all my blunders.
I mean, I still think ideally the book is good. I mean, it teaches you the critical thinking that is going to be more valuable in games overall.
Yeah.
Um, but I do like Puzzle Rush Survival, so when you're unable to do, sit down with someone and work on tactics with them, so it gives you that serious nature, then I do think Puzzle Rush Survival is quite good. It gives you a little bit of warm up on some easier puzzles, gets you into the groove, but as you go, get some very difficult puzzles. So if you are committed to it, pushing for your PR, all that, you will get some very nice improvements, some very nice time working on your calculation. But I mean, even on this, okay, outside of the calculation, uh, f5, okay, obviously has the use of rook c8, but now seeing king e5, I mean, a move like king f4 would be 100% what I'm thinking about. And if I don't have some good play on the dark squares, then I wouldn't play f5. It just, you have to be able to contend on the dark squares, at least somewhat here. Yeah, rook c8. I mean, even now, I guess it's not too late. You probably can just play for a draw. If, worst case scenario, you realize king e5 now, and you're worried about it, like rook d8 seems like a great way to just lock in a good defense. Here's repetition. Here comes with a check. King plants itself on f6. Well, suddenly you have d6 ideas, or you can chase the b pawn.
Oh, I see what you mean. So I could have done the same thing, because if my idea was to go here, basically I could just go here, right? So just kind of as Kramnik rule, always repeat. Just see where they go, and then go here. And that's when she would play here, and I'm like, oh my god. Okay. Right?
No,
Then I would just
I
go here.
ideally you should at least see king a5 when it's one move away. Like that's
Yeah.
and at least at this point, if you catch it here, you could find rook d8 and dislodge, or think about king f4. Like it's you kind of zoned into this rook c6 idea, and I do feel like, hey, king e5 at this point, like you shouldn't discover king e5 when it's on the board.
Well,
Like worst
that's
case
what happens in all
scenario.
my games. God damn it. I really, okay, I have a resolution for 2025. I want to do 1 hour of puzzle rush every day. But But now the thing is, how am I gonna do it? How am I gonna really do it? Because I want to, but then there's different from want to do. Like, I want to go to the gym every day.
Yeah, you just gotta schedule it. It's gotta be part of the schedule.
Yeah.
If it's just I'll fit it in when it's convenient, it's likely to never happen. Has to be in the schedule. That's what really kept me, is my schedule, because I was homeschooled uh, because of chess and because I was traveling. It was very set. I'd wake up, do 2 hours of chess. After lunch, 2 hours of chess, and then at 8 p.m. I would do 2 more hours of chess, and it was like very, because I'd wake up, what, as a kid at 7, and then technically I'd start at 8 a.m. So I guess sometimes if I woke up a little early, maybe I would just chill out for a bit, but start at 8, do 2 hours, lunch would be at 12, so after lunch I'd do 2 more hours, and it was just like very scheduled.
Wait, how many hours did you say? 6 hours?
6 hours altogether.
Oh God. So
As well as-
wait, you wake up at 7? Like
Yeah.
at 8 you do 8 to 10? Then
When
what do you do
when
from 10
when I was
to
younger. Okay, I'm not doing this nowadays.
Yeah.
Do other stuff
But
instead
why
of that intense
yeah.
study. But
So 8 to 10 and then 10 to 12? What do you do 10 to 12?
school stuff.
Oh, school. So you do 2 hours of school and 6 hours of chess.
No, I also did some other school. I think after, so it was lunch,
Oh yeah,
and then I did
afternoon.
2 hours, and then I think I did more school after that. The school part I don't
Yeah.
remember. I just remember the chess.
I never understood how, like, all the smart kids,
fine.
how is it possible to do homeschool? Like, how do you, like, you just organize yourself like a genius in time efficiency, and you just do all the homeworks?
No, my mom was pretty much my teacher, and then my grandpa, he was an electrical engineer, so a lot of the sciences he worked with us on.
Yeah. That's cool stuff. I
But
don't know how these kids do. Like, I wasn't able to do school, even going to school. Like, I always had the worst grades,
okay, school
except in English.
school is school. But I think the big point of that is not to do 6 hours. The big point of that is if you don't have it scheduled, it's never gonna happen.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Like that's even now. Like I've become very particular about, and we were talking about this at the beginning of scheduling lessons, of scheduling, the streams. I know exactly when I want to stream, so on and so forth, with just a lot of things that if I didn't do that, if I didn't plan that out, like it'd be very difficult for me. And I think that's just how life works. Like life, even if it's just taking a moment to breathe, like something will fill the space if it's not already filled. And it's, what makes it more difficult that way.
Yeah, I agree.
So, um, yeah, I think we probably call it there. Just diving into another game would, as it goes, take up a lot of time. But I think as far as these structures, definitely breaking down some of it, some of the subtleties with that. I think outside of that, there's a definite, the time spending, but I would say from this game, yes, there's truth in things like night on the room is dim, be careful of isolated pawns, yada, yada, yada. But with any piece, with any pawn, always pay more attention to what is it specifically doing. If a knight or a rook or a queen is in the middle of the board but doing nothing, that's not as valuable as a piece that's creating threats, as a piece that's, biggest example delivering checkmate. A piece's value comes down to the attack, the defense, the threats that it creates, not how beautiful it looks. I think that's a big
Yeah.
thing to keep in mind from this game, as knight
Okay.
h5 just screams at you at quite a few points.
That I agree.
Any other thoughts before we finish up?
So don't like stop assessing too abstractly, right? Look at the concrete threats that pieces make. Pay
Yeah,
attention to the concrete threats.
absolutely.
Yeah. Like my kind of downfall is like I'm too generalistic, right? Sometimes. So kind of challenge that whenever I make conclusions, and then um and do tactics. Wait, what was it? One
Continually
more
do tactics. Yep.
conclusion, and try to keep a like also understand the most behind in the opening.
Yeah, that's I mean, in any part of this opening, what I do, I mean, I think is very valuable, where you just turn on the computer, you play through lines, you jump between a couple of them and compare the differences. Like that can really help in understanding. Even if you don't remember exactly all of it, I mean, there should be okay, bishop f4 opens up this knight takes d5 idea, as well as is getting out of the way of bishop takes e7 trades. Bishop h4 can be nice if I want to slide it back to f2, or I just want to avoid knight h5. So you have those little ideas that you just kind of put in there. So even if you don't remember the exact moves, next time you're playing, it's like, oh, that's right, bishop f4, knight h5 is a bad thing. In this position, it's bad. I don't have knight takes d5, so I'm going to play bishop h4 instead. You can actually think through that.
Okay, that makes sense.
All right, well, call it there. Everyone in both chats, reminder, Dina's chess camp is coming up 2 days. In 2 days, 16th and 17th for the Charlotte Open. It is not too late. There is still space available. There will be Dina, obviously, as well as 4 guest instructors, including myself. But most importantly, legends like Grandmaster Daniel Naroditsky, Grandmaster Ben Feingold, and FIDE Master Peter, the one and only CEO. I don't know if he considers himself that, owner of the Charlotte Chess Center. So lots of
Correct.
chess, lots of people. That will be awesome to be around. It is not too late. Go check it out. The command !camp, and hope to see you all there.
Yeah, and we also gonna have a secret streamer as one of the students. So you guys might
Whoa.
be there for a ride to have your co-classmates, one more secret streamer as one of your classmates. You'd be pleasantly surprised. I can tell you that now.
I want to make guesses, but I don't think I should spoil the
Especially,
surprise.
let me put it this way, especially if you're a male student.
All right. Well, with that, Dina, good luck. Make the tactics happen. I will see you, I guess, Friday. No, I'll see you tomorrow. We're doing an off-stream
I'll see you
lesson
tomorrow. Where?
3 p.m. off-stream lesson.
Oh, yeah. Yes, that sounds perfect.
There's so much going on this week. I honestly forgot as well at first. Like, I know it. Again, calendar, scheduling, it will save your life for exactly moments like this.
You're not playing in the Charlotte Open.
No, I will be streaming Tony's game, doing commentary when I can, and then doing other things like game analysis throughout the event. So, yeah, I'll be around. And,
Got it.
Likely very busy, depending on how much I decide to commentate on Tony's games, which I think I'll just slot in between the other things I'm doing.
Imagine, so like theoretically, me and Tony, we could get paired, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
That
wait,
would be
theoretically. Hold on. How's theoretically? Could be a fight. That will light the fire in you.
for the first place. We're gonna be both like 5 out of 5
There you
battling
go.
this
There you go.
first place.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna go warm up before Title Tuesday, play some chess.
Sounds good. Okay, well, we're gonna send the raid your way. Like this, you're not gonna be alone. Not that
Thanks.
you're already alone, but we're gonna fire it up.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
And thank you so much. I'll try to implement everything I learned, hopefully, because I do wanna make my chess great again.
Step by step. That's the key. Just little improvement by little improvement. If the bigger improvements feels intimidating. Step by step.
Okay. Well, on that note, um, see you soon.
Yes.
All right, bye.
Bye. And remember, don't smile. Don't smile. That's the trick. Don't smile too much. The Russians might think you're up to something. Very effective. Works for me every time. I was working with the Russians. I had to put away my smile for 5 years, so I can understand that. Good times. Just as crazy. I mean, not gonna spend too much longer on this, but I do find some of this fascinating. Like the whole bishop d3 move, like preventing rook f1 just kind of blows my mind. I understand it, but I wish I understood it better. Peter, thank you for the follow. Everybody that followed during the lessons, I know I don't chat as much. I try to type when I can in chat to respond to you guys because I really do appreciate it. But no, it's going to be the focus there. Can't disrupt all the lessons or the lesson for all of that. But you guys are amazing, and we greatly appreciate all of it. As your support keeps us going, keeps us fueled. We're not just doing this alone, as Dina says. I don't know if Miles is still here. I'm fully willing to, the word ban, if I said 5 and he was counting, I will do the push-ups for him. If he is here. If. I don't know if he is, though. It seems like a very troll thing for Miles to do, to jump in and redeem something like that and then just bounce out. Mr. G3, when you traveled to Russia, you were advised not to smile at people. Same advice for Scotland. Oh, Roro is here. But I need to know. I have no idea how many times I said 5. I know I said it quite a bit, because he redeemed it right as you're talking about knight h5, and then it was probably in the same period with d5, and I think I even said g5 probably in there. So there's probably quite a few times. I did not see it 347 times. I've tried that. I am sure did not happen. I'm confident. Yeah, I'm gonna run to the restroom. I'll be right back. But ni hao, going at it. So hopefully the game is good. All right, Roro, look me in the eye and tell me you were counting. Scotland. Ah, you guys are talking about kilt. That threw me off.
NANI?!
Hey, Dina with the raid. Thank you, everyone. I mean, if you weren't sick of me, welcome in. If you are sick of me, I'm sorry. Good to see you all. I was just changing the stream title so people don't get confused. Oh my gosh, you guys. Popping off with the follows. Thank you, much appreciations. I'm gonna let the alerts play this time, just because I know how much Dina loves them. Sometimes I turn them off, but you know, it seems like a good day to see some shark eating some pieces. Everyone, thank you so much. Stanford Rob, Bakken, Popa Pix, Megalith, thank you for the follows. Many much appreciations. Yeah, Dina has been very kind with the raids to the Sharkz. I think that means, I'm optimistic, that means she actually kind of appreciates us. And we are not too nice in her mind. We might smile, but we do so with a purpose. So it's fine. Sorry. I getting distracted by the follows and struggling to change the time. It's Title Tuesday is in an hour and 20 minutes. Likely I'll have to stop the stream and implement the delay, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Nina Strahotsky, Rhett, thank you for the follows. Mossy, you've been practicing your night end games. Night end games? I'll be honest, I feel like I've probably spent the most time on Rook end games, then King and Pawn only end games, then probably Bishop end. I've probably spent the least time on, well, I don't know, it's a competition between Knight end games and Queen end games, because I tell you, like, I still spent a lot of time working on them. But Queen end games, it's just like so complicated. Some of those with the queen checks and the kings running around, and like you're almost guaranteed to have table base switching from winning to drawn in a lot of those. So radio, that is what's weird. I haven't actually heard it from chess.com, but I have confirmed through reaching out myself. That to me was the weird part. Like I didn't get a, what am I looking for? Direct communication when it was implemented, but I heard about it and I asked someone that absolutely would know, and I've been meaning to reach out again just to like confirm it, because I know they got some backlash on it, and see if they kept with it, but it's one of those, I'd rather implement it than deal with trying to implement it mid-event. The truth is, I've admitted on stream, but like the person I asked, I think I could be honest, but this isn't a secret. I asked Daniel Naroditsky because I'm like, okay, he works with chess.com, you know, does commentary. He also streams it. Like, I'm sure he would know. And he's like, yeah, absolutely. So as far as chess.com staff goes, like the fair play team, they don't know that I know. Unless they watch the stream, but yeah, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna say, you guys didn't tell me. Like, I know it's a thing. So I'm gonna try and uphold it until I know otherwise. Because the inverse was what happened to Chess Dojo when I first saw it was them asking Kostya to implement it midstream, and that just looked like a pain. So yeah. Am I buying the Danny Wrench biography? Active Moves, thank you for the follow. I'm not much of a reader, if I'm being honest. Like, I don't know. I consider myself like a mix of a visual and an audio learner. Like, the best, if I am reading something that it sticks in my brain, is if I listen and follow along. But yeah, kind of because of that, like, reading is not always my favorite. Active Moves, glad you like the emotes. A huge fan. Yeah, I think it would be a very interesting read. I've heard bits and pieces about it. I know Danny went through like some pretty crazy things growing up, but man, he's playing this so quickly. But King, what's the King doing, huh? What's the King doing, my guy? Maybe I should have checked him first, because F6, maybe. Oh. Have Chess Dojo gotten any reactions on their stream? Well, I don't think they always stream it. As far as I'm aware, they don't always. So I'm not sure. And I'm always streaming the evening one. So I also, like, I don't see much in the way of other people's Title Tuesday streams. Mozzie, you found you needed help training your Knight Pawn and King Harmony. Made a note on Queen and game sharpness. Love work endgames too. Hey, let's go. I like that endgame study. I've actually grown to love endgames quite a bit. No, the guy, I just blundered Bishop takes b2, didn't I? Like, he's not terrible. Just some strange decisions, honestly. Although I'm not. I think I should have done knight f4 right away instead of g4, and obviously not got myself in this situation that I find myself in now. There's something here. She's so close to something. But maybe I shouldn't worry. Clever h8, this prepares h6. I think I'm trying too hard. The lesson was good. It was a little bit of roasting at the beginning, but it's kind of tricky because no way. He's going to be lame. Yeah, I find with Dina, like, her two biggest things to work on, I think, are her calculation and psychology. But, you know, for the lessons, Like, it's easy to get talking about that, but obviously want to work on some other things as well. So we were able to dive into the game and some lines and all that, which I think was very good. Lenora, anyone know why when I open things on my first monitor, they appear on your second? I have a similar issue, actually, with actually chess base. Like, I don't know how it... Yeah. Oh, extra cheese. Unpopular opinion, Donnie and David Bruce had no chemistry at all together. I enjoyed their commentary. I know there was some, like, I know David Pruis was actually responding to some things that I don't know if it had happened or what the whole deal was, but I know some people were unhappy with something that happened during commentary between them or with them. I don't know. That's a bad move. Yes, King G8. Okay, well, now it's not a bad move. It's not the best, but it's, you know, this is... One sec. Oh, jeez. Chest and triceps, how's it going? What happened? I actually don't know. I don't know. No, Dino's mostly roasting Tony and another chess player. Yeah, that was a very weird game. I don't know. Like, for both of us, it was weird. like, I blunder bishop b2, he's like running his king, and then we get to where he's pushing for a win and he just like freezes and spends like a crap ton amount of time trying to figure out how to push that position. Okay, it's messy, but spend so much time there and I'm just blundering again. What is wrong with me? Jeez. This is why we're warming up before Title Tuesday. Trying to get the blunders out, I guess. I've blundered this before too, even. And this guy's ready to eat me alive, apparently. Small part of me that feels like I should take, though. Oh, chest and triceps, you're going to the camp? Let's go. That'll be great to see you there. Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I gotta get my bishop out of there. I don't know, maybe I should trade. Go knight versus rook. I think this makes sense, actually. I'm only down a point. For a second, I thought the pawns were even, but... I thought the pawns were even, but they're not. Oh, Miles. Going. Yeah, the rest of the lesson was good. Pretty chill. Pretty good time. Although I was asking if you counted the number of fives I said. And here. Seemed like you didn't. Oh, no way! No way! What? This guy's crazy! What? No way! I'm still very low on time, but... Oh, jeez. That was a good swindle. Oh my goodness, I can't believe that one. Very weird. Like very weird games. I don't know. Like he just crushed me out of the opening and then had such awful technique. I cannot believe. Oh, here taking with the bishop was wrong. Take with the knight. Yeah, open it. Keep this bishop open. Like this was okay. This was okay. And then like right as it's winning, I don't even know. Yeah. And then, yeah, I mean, at the end, like, if anyone was... I almost regret trading queens, because the way he was playing, there's a small part of me that feels like I was about to flag him at this rate. I mean, when we got into the draw, he's up a full minute. He's up a full minute when we get into the drawn position. And now he's only up 4 seconds? Ah. Yeah, that was just weird. That was just, I honestly have no idea. Yeah, I'm a bit speechless on that one. Yeah, because his technique to win it wasn't even bad. He just needs to, you know, like he wants the queen this way. Like keep the checks up. Because as long as the pawn's here, I just have no ideas. He gets it here eventually. I have to go in front of my pawn, and then he just brings the king in. I am. It is weird. Like, it's weird to have someone play so quickly and just like pretty good chess, and then with plenty of time in a winning position, 2800. Crazy. Not ready for that. Like, I keep playing on, but like I'm not ready for that. I'm ready to just, like, I'm just playing on out of frustration and, you know, some glimmer of optimism. But I fully expect to lose, and then all of a sudden it's like, wait a second. That's just crazy. Yeah. It is the name from Mr. Robot. I think he's a pretty chill guy. Has some bad days. Ugh. Or knight b5, right? Plant that knight on d6. Yeah, 6-4. 6-4, by the way, I feel like it's been a minute. A week since I've seen you. How are you doing? Bunny Slayer, thank you for the follow. Okay, start with take. Take. Simple. Protect. Buddy Slayer, how you doing? You haven't been playing chess. Ah. Not as much chess lately. I got you.
Addicts know they're addicted. They know when they're shooting up. But heartbroken people do not. But you do now. But you do now. When your heart is broken, you simply cannot trust what your
Okay.
mind is telling you.
Wait, does that work? There, there. Check, clock. I think it works. I think it works. A5. Hold on, buckle up. We're going for some tactics. Buckle up. This is gonna be a wild ride. Sack the rook. Sack the rook. B7. And here's the key. We're not going to play B8 yet. He moves this rook. I'm playing knight E7, knight C8, interrupting the defense. And I get a queen. And his knight guards the back rank issues for me. It worked! It worked! Let's go! We got the tactics! We got the tactics for days. All right. How am I not trapping his knight, though? That was a good tactic. All right, he's just gonna flag. Too much pressure. Oh, we got him! That was a good game. That was a good game. Definitely getting clipped. Yeah, probably. Rook A1, Rook B1 saved. No. Because the only way for him to get Rook A1, Rook B1 was to sack the knight. So then I end up a knight. Yeah, if he goes knight E2, I play King F1, Rook A1, take his knight. I think that I was pretty sure on that one, extra cheese. I keep doing this, and I keep feeling like I blunder something. Nah, me and Elliot, we play quite a bit. We just hold, right? We just hold everything. All fine, all chill like. Extra cheese. Thank you. I'm glad it all checks out. I'm actually really happy with that one. 97 knight c8. That was it was good. How much do I want to stop that? Yeah, I think I do. Especially because he moved that rook here, so d5's... The idea of d5 is lessened. Free pawn. It's okay, we'll leave that knight there. We're just chilling. We're playing a chill game. Taking some pawns. Okay. Wait, rook g5 is super annoying for him though. Okay, he's trying to deal with that. Makes sense. b4, not bad. I'm just flagging. I'm just flagging. We spent too much time. Yeah, so spend more time. Yeah, I'm just too low on time. I spent way too much time there. King, what the heck? Rook f5 first is interesting to plant the rook on f3. I was so locked in, I don't even know where my time went, honestly. I got wrapped up. Bishop f5 right away. Difference. Oh, no castling queenside. Interesting. Yeah, it's really just a lot of like 10, 15-second moves here and there. Just add it up. Yeah, just a lot of little moments. Here I did spend way too much time. Like I wanted to play here, but I just like couldn't think of what to do after this. Because there is nothing. And so then I started thinking about B4, which I don't think, yeah, I spent too much time in this moment. I don't want to play you anyways. Elliot, take care. Enjoy your class. No worries. You can play me anytime you're playing badly. It's fine. Maybe I should implement the 10-second delay right now. Maybe that's the play. That way I can have plenty of time to run the prediction on Twitch. Need to remember how to... Gotta do it on the YouTube side. To take off chat on YouTube. Alright, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna end the stream and restart it. That's still too early. Let me play one more game before I do that, at least. Smirnov? Isn't it Smirnov? Smirin. I had the right. Yeah, Smirnov's Australian. So wrong. Dear goodness. Wait, you call him Grandmaster Haktua? I don't think I understand that, Rep 1. Whoa! What? Knight takes h7. You're not bothered by that at all, my guy? You're counting on, what, knight d4 to save your bacon? He's counting on knight d4 to save his bacon. I don't believe. This feels very suspicious for him, but maybe. Like, if I have a move, I play knight takes f8, and... I don't expect you to... I'm lying. So... Okay. This is what I call... the London according to me. What was my ghetto London? Bishop takes f6, knight e4. I mean, it's like a Tory with bishop g5. I play bishop g5 against the fianchetto lines. This is an idea I've gotten a few times before, but I don't even have to take that. I could play king d1. Not too wild. No, I think I just take, and I take. Try and keep it simple. Okay, I don't think he has enough to... Like, you only have 2 pieces. what's the threat? I play e3, queen c1, I take. I don't even know. I'm so like hesitant because I feel like he's setting me up for something and I just don't see it. I would have thought d4. Like you have to. You have to try. Just a waiting move, I guess. Okay, now I'll just come take your pawns. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe he missed knight takes h7. Just really underestimated this. Beanie Kuma, how's it going? I actually don't know what my blitz peak is. Not 100% sure. I know it's above 2960. But I'm not 100%. E4 would have been better. E4 is an interesting idea. Nope, computer changed its mind. Says he can just take. Yeah, so this was interesting. He just has to play f6 because now take he can get away with taking. And the king runs. But that's pretty brave. 2979 apparently. Nice. Alright. At least one more. One more. Before I implement the 10-second delay. At least one more. Oh, this is the legendary Musard, isn't it? Yeah. He was playing right before Title Tuesday. I think it was when we played right before Title Tuesday last week. Okay. Pretty standard row pieces on at the king side setup. So I take, I play knight g5, h5, g4, f6, take. Looks so dangerous for him. Could also play knight f6, but then knight g4. He plays knight f6. No. And I take rook g1. This looks very not good for him. Or G1, kind of a problem. Wow! He doesn't care. He's not bothered. I should have just played Queen G4 right away. I should have just played it right away. I missed Queen G4. I was thinking take, actually. That's why I played Rook D1, because I was gonna take and then take on E6, and I'm like, having the rook makes sense, but I think Queen G4 just right away was very good. Ah! Ah! Dumb. Oh! Oh, that was good. Promoted to a knight. He hit me with a knight promotion! That son of a biscuit. I think I should have had that one, but that was good. That was a good defense. Yeah, Queen B4. Maybe I should have just taken on F2. Musard is the highest rated win of Andrea Botez. Worse than Andrea Botez. Man, so what does that make you 6 for? Since I've beaten you. Tree Stumped, thank you for the follow. No, because if I'm worse than Andrea Botez under your logic, and I've beaten you, that means I'm better than you, which means you're worse than Andrea Botez. Right? Same logic. Kind of sucks, doesn't it? At 6-4, are you sure you want to stand on the fact that you have beaten me? Do you want me to pull up the score?
I need a scarecrow after what you did, 'cause all of the birds know that I'm almost
Pulling up on stream. Oh wait. Alright. Sounds good. Good plan. Damn, I did throw that game though. Ah, it was there. Even just Queen G4 right away, I think is GG's. Like after Rook D1, I probably should take on G5, just like commit to my plan. But I mixed it. I did both, and that was just the worst option.
I need an angel after what you did. 'Cause you were the devil. You messed with my head. You lied to my mother. You lied to my friends. You said that you'd be there, but this never ends. Don't wake me up, not in this century. Don't wake me up, 'cause you're just a ghost inside my head. You're just a
Hey, so many pieces. Pawns. I don't know. It's messy.
inside my head. Cause you're just a ghost inside my head. You're just a ghost, you're never there. 'Cause you're just a ghost inside my head. You're just a ghost, you're never there. You're just a memory on my lips. You're just a ghost inside my head. Oh, you're just a ghost inside my head. She galvanized me, steady like steel, back on my feet, living for the thrill again, loving for another day. She satisfied me, gave me what I want, just what we need.
Ah, dear goodness. Ash, hello. How's it going?
But she asked for she asked for something more. She asked for yeah, she asked for something beautiful. She asked for yeah, she asked for she asked for something beautiful. She mystifies me.
No, your apps aren't animated, Ash. No. The audacity.
But she asked for she asked for something more. She asked for
Tempting to trade, because I think I can fight for the D file very well here. Right? But this also looks very nice and just like a very comfortable, probably even more so, because I don't lose the idea of taking. Kind of working. It's kind of working. Knight d6 next after bishop c6. Got queen b3 ideas. Trying to take here ideas. Although, if I take right away, he has bishop c6. So he could try and sit for a move. No. Wow, he's all sneaky like. I'm playing queen e6. Yeah. All these queen moves! I can't see them, they're invisible! Nah, I don't want no part of that. That just looks annoying to deal with a rook on d2. Alright, you have a point. Yeah. Damn. Oh, the lesson with Dina went very well. Pretty good lesson. Got to dive into one of her games decently well, which is always nice. Nah, he's pretty good. But it's also his speed. His speed upkeep is very good. Alright, alright. If you took with the knight, you had to watch out for G5. That's why you didn't do that. But the trade overall, I think, is a success for me. Alright, alright. No taking E4. I got you. Dang, you drew him a couple days ago. Nice. Why is everyone playing him? Is he play like on stream? Okay, yeah, he just plays against viewers. I gotcha. Alright, to run the prediction, if we keep playing, I'm gonna have to end the stream and implement it mid-game. Because, you know, if he's down to keep playing, I'm down to keep playing, so I'm here for it. But I think I got to. Let me work on getting that set up. Probably in the background just to first. Once I have it set up, I just have to end and restart. Very simple. Dang, 6'4", take down the 2700. Alright, everybody. I'm going to hurry and end the stream and then restart it. So I have that 10-second delay. I'll be